would you do if you had the ability to go back in time and kill Hitler as a young man? What if he had just saved your life and seemed like a fairly decent guy?
Well, that is an ethical conundrum, isn't it?
Yes,
And
it is
it's
indeed.
just one of the questions that's asked by Ripped, a graphic novel written by Jay Busby, with art by Jason Flowers.
Yeah, Ripped tells the story of Adam Fitzpatrick, or Fitz, who discovers he has the ability to pop backwards and forwards in time, ripping through time, from Dallas 1963 to the Trojan War to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. He goes backwards and forwards, desperately trying to save the universe.
Yes, because Fitz is not the only Ripper. There's a group of them that can all do this. There's his best friend Chen, and also a woman called Lena, who's gotten tired of just observing history and has decided she wants to change it completely instead.
I mean, it's a great premise for a story.
Well, yeah, but not a terribly original one. I mean, for a while I was feeling like it was a bit like Highlander, you know, this group of people who all know each other throughout time. And then I remembered a book by Ben Bova called Orion that had a very similar story in there.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's time travel. You can't make those kind of comparisons. There's lots of stories out there. In and of itself, I actually quite enjoyed Ripped. It's a fun story, there's some great characters in there, and, you know, it gave me a bit of a chuckle.
Yeah. Okay, but how about the art? I mean, that's often a bit of a sticking point for you.
The art is okay. There's nothing outstanding about it, I have to say. The faces go a little bit wonky in some cases, but yeah, it's fairly solid.
It really sounds like you're damning with faint praise on that one.
No, it doesn't detract from the story at all. There's just nothing that really makes it stand out for me. I do like the way that Flowers used colour to kind of differentiate between the different times that he goes to. You know, Troy is very differently coloured to Dallas, which is again different to everywhere else. The one chapter I really loved, though, was chapter 3, which is actually in World War I.
Oh, yeah.
I just really liked the way that Flowers used colour and shadow and really stark lines for that kind of era.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, on the story though, I mean, you're right, it is hard to find an original take on a time travel genre story, so it is a bit unfair to compare it to others. And there is a lot in here to like. I mean, I liked all the characters, I like the fact that there are no shining heroes in this. These are all just regular people who've discovered they have the ability to rip through time.
Awesome.
I also like that they didn't rely on the whole butterfly effect thing too much. I mean, a guy brings a gun to the Trojan War.
But wouldn't you?
You absolutely
Hang on,
would.
that's awesome.
But they don't even worry that much about it. They just go about their day.
Absolutely.
And I did like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It is a solid time travel story.
Yeah.
If it has a weak point, unfortunately, it's its ending.
Yes, they did kind of rush that, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, you've got this story about people who can jump through times to these epic battles and these massive journeys. Your ending has to be on the same level instead of just one panel. I mean, I felt really cheated by the time I got to the end.
Look, obviously we're not gonna tell you the ending.
That would be mean.
I will say that it does feature a bit of Deus Ex Machina, which can be a problem with time travel stories. We've seen that before. And it's not nearly as epic as it could have been.
So what are our thoughts on Ripped, Al?
You know what? I'm very ambivalent
Yeah?
with this story. I mean, there was a heck of a lot to like, but it just could have been so much more.
Yeah.
And that really bugs me. That's what's dropped it from a buy to a borrow for me. It could have been more. It could have been grander.
Yeah, now, I hate to have to do this, but I actually agree with you. Ripped could have been an amazing book. I mean, it's got all the ingredients for an amazing story. I mean, it's got conspiracy theories, it's got time travel, it's got epic battle, it's got sword fights.
It does,
I
with a
love
gun.
sword fights with a gun. It's amazing. It does. It's got all the ingredients for a great story, but it just feels like it needed to be left in the oven for another half an hour. So I have to agree with him. It's a borrow.
She had to agree with me.
Yeah, I don't like that I have to agree with you. I am going to rip back in time and I'm going to make Busby change the ending.
So how did it go?
Not very well.
No?
I ended up in episode 10.
Hey, what are we reviewing in episode 10?
I can't tell you. It will destroy the universe.
No, it won't.
Oh well,
Where did you get the cookie?
you can't have my cookie. It's my cookie!
I want a cookie.
My space cookie!